Yes, yes.
What up?
Woo woo! Let's cut that. Let's cut the intro right. Let's just jump into it. No, I'm joking. First off, what's up, everybody? Geektastic Cypher here on Free X Agents Media. Hopefully, you guys are all enjoying yourselves. You're all relaxing. You're all taking it in. It's been, the last time we did the show, it was even still cold outside, and now it's all nice out here in Montreal. We're doing our best. We're living our best lives. And since the last episode, someone got old. One of the crew. One of the crew.
I was like, is this an existential question? Because technically we all got old since the last one.
Here we go.
But one of us got older. There's a little more gray in the beard, a little more wisdom in the eyes.
Oh man, sounds like you're describing me. Jeez.
Yeah, I was. Happy belated, Toby. No, jokes aside, happy birthday to Dave. Merc with a mouth. Turned 87. And you can tell he's secretly black because it don't crack at 87. He looks like the average 40-year-old white guy.
While he's wearing a Boondocks shirt.
You know, like it's the worst possible time.
That's a great shirt. Oh, that's Boondock Saints.
No, it's Boondock Saints.
Yeah. No, but just from the top from
Boondocks.
Yeah.
The what?
I've seen the same shirt with the Boondocks character.
Yeah. It is. It's similar.
I want that one.
How old did you just turn?
38.
37.
Oh,
hey,
damn.
Old man.
Okay. You definitely older than me.
Yeah, you 3 from 40? Shit.
Bro, you didn't have to say it like that, motherfucker.
Oh, man.
You're only as old as you feel. I'll always repeat it, Dave. It's true. And you've been feeling pretty good the past year or so, man. I would say.
It's not been to be honest,
outside of the pandemic.
Yeah. Outside of the pandemic, it's not been bad.
Yeah,
Can't
things
complain.
are coming up Millhouse for old Davy boy over here.
Very true. It's very true. And I love that reference. I'm down with that.
That's hilarious.
That's great, man. Yeah, it just sucks. I had my birthday earlier too. I mean, I'm sure some people might be able to have a party depending on when the restrictions lax coming up. But yeah, I had to spend mine in the wintry indoors.
And you don't go smiling yet. You're not. My birthday is first before yours, so let's make sure my birthday celebration.
Yeah, he's in May, but I'm like deep June.
I'm June. Okay, June might have more of a chance.
Yeah,
than May,
I think he's gonna have leeway.
Guys, I'm telling you right now. I've been saying it for a minute, and I'm gonna say it right now.
What?
By May 1st, I'm on a terrace doing my birthay.
Oh, I thought you were going to go a little further than doing something else.
I was just about to rent a park and kick everybody else out, and you're out here.
You're going to rent a park. You know what you can rent, though, by the way?
A movie theater?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you were going to say.
That's right, and it's pretty damn cheap.
I know. They dropped in prices, boy. They dropped in prices.
$120, $175 for a whole theater to you, and imagine splitting that amongst like 15 friends.
That's pretty nice.
I'm whatever movie you choose.
100% about that. I'm 100% about a movie theater.
Yeah.
I want to.
I might do that.
Maybe that's what I'll do for my birthday. Because you know what? I was supposed to watch, and this is going to come up. You know what? We're not even going to go wait for it. But I was supposed to be watching Black Widow at this point for my birthday, and then Disney decided to shuck that to the end of the year. Summer, July.
Yeah.
I mean, initially it was like end of the year. It still felt like it was. Yeah.
So it's even more in Skinny's wheelhouse, is what you're trying to say.
Oh,
the odds are even better.
Oh snap, Dave, you got your freaking knife sharpened today, man.
Someone had a birthday and got a little bold.
But wait for it. Hold up. Then we slam dunk and Danny gets Spider-Man for Christmas. It's just like,
that is the
best. Do you think things will be back to quote unquote normal by then though?
I don't know
it
about
depends the vaccine rollout.
I don't know
around people.
I'm gonna have my vaccine, and I got my LG ear purifier Darth Vader mask with the fans and the HEPA filters in it.
I've seen it. It's a little much.
Yeah, man. It's so funny too when I wear it in public and I go into like spots. People like look at me like
who is this
Ranger? It looks like a nose attachment.
Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The square thing?
At some point, I'll go get it. And show people because it covers the whole mouth and it has a suction thing, so you really can't. There's no air seeping out, and it goes around.
It doubles as a CPAP machine at night.
My partner's a nurse, and the first thing she said is like, "This is like a CPAP machine." Like,
no way, that's funny.
Yeah, she said, "Go on."
That's hilarious.
And then the scam mask that I ordered from Kickstarter that I got scammed and my bank had to reimburse me, they still sent it.
No way.
The scam mask?
Yeah. They sent it. Look at this thing.
It's a scam
Oh
mask.
wow, what the hell?
Yeah, so it's
like
and
this hexagonal.
listen how loud it is. Hold on, let's listen how loud it is.
Nope.
There's a fan in there constantly going off. Jeez.
Yeah, but it also sounds like a damn like Windows 98 computer booting up. Listen,
or like a truck backing up in your face.
beep, beep. You hear that?
Yeah, that would get annoying. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
At one point,
like Darth Vader's mask had a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
At one point, I turned it on, and my partner went to the front because we have cleaners that clean our building once a week. And she's just like, she went up to the door. She's like, are the cleaners here? And I was like, no, I just turned on the ventilator mask. She's like, my God, I heard it from the living room and I thought the cleaners were here. So that's how loud it is.
Bro. That ain't right.
That's how loud it is. So yeah, Dave is old. I got a ventilator mask. And Toby's living his best life in the T-Dot. I hear you guys are having a little bit of a hectic time though. My buddy works for the Health Ontario. Yeah, he's one of the press agent dudes, and he was telling me that it's a scene out there. Your numbers are still a little high over in Ontario.
At this point, I'm like, just reopen everything. Just who cares? It's already high. It's already so high. You guys know what you're doing anyway. Just let the rest of us live.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Dude, this winter was rough, man. Like, I can't do too much more of this lockdown. You know,
that is hilarious.
Crazy. But yeah, and certain regions are like red and gray, and depending on because Ontario GTA is so big, right?
Yeah, Toronto's huge.
Yeah, gray is restaurants can open like patios and curbside, but like everything else is still shuttered.
Why red and gray? Like here, right? not that Quebec is making any sense, by the way, because Quebec has
you can only get the colors right.
Yeah, but not even though. How you have a zone red and it has the same things open as a zone orange? It's just that it has a curfew.
Yeah,
but what sense does that make? What's the point? You might as well not call it a zone red. Just call everything zone.
Like, I think gyms are allowed to be open in red, right? Or
they're worried because they're worried that people are going to freak out and go crazy.
They're doing anyways. They're opening gyms. They're opening up stores. People can shop in stores now.
That's in gray zone. So retail can open in gray zone.
Yeah, too. Retail's open. Yeah. Gyms are open. Yeah. Massage, indoor pools, theaters.
Get them.
What else is open? I don't know. Pretty much everything's open
except for indoor dining. And assholes are losing their minds. It's great.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Indoor dining is closed, and then you can jump. But at 9:30, you everything has to shut down.
Well, you guys still have a curfew.
Well, you find yourself a sleepover spot.
Oh, you get an extra hour.
Yes. Oh, gracious God, Legault granted us another 90 minutes of glorious sunshine from his on high.
You make a joke. You're joking, but like that's what this past year has been, right? We've been giving them that power to take away our like. It's true though.
At the beginning, Toby, you were saying from a jump, like, "Oh, this is a police state." It wasn't a police state when you started claiming.
I didn't say police state.
Yeah, run the tapes, guys.
You can go back. Hold on. I said this is a conspiracy theorist like dream, whatever. Like everything they've been saying is finally coming true. But I was also speaking in jest at the time. Now, did I think it was a full-on police state? No, but I still felt like I was under house arrest.
The specific thing I'm talking about is when you started saying people like trying to get people to snitch on people feels like.
Well, I mean,
you did. Yeah, you were.
That part was a little much.
Yes, which I mean, I think it's much, but at the same time, I didn't think it was as bad as what they're doing now, though. Like right now is full on like snitch. You're all behind locked doors, but like once again, my demo and my constituents that I'm trying to work towards getting reelected with in the future, I'm going to give them what they need. So they have kids and they live in smaller towns. So let's put them all in the orange and the yellow zone, and let's open up all the pools and all the things so that they can have their spring break and mommy and daddy can get the little kids out of the house. And when it comes to election time, they'll be like, "Oh, Master Legault, he saved us from the bad things, huh?" And then
they're also trying to break you Montrealers down for being defiant.
Even
though they're also trying to get us out of here too.
Yes, they are. Montreal is the economic center of Quebec, And as much as they don't like to admit that, that's what it is. So go ahead, keep playing and see what happens with the money when it comes vote time. Because I'm telling you right now, Montreal is going to start throwing a lot of money at whoever's going to support us the most in the future, and not the boondocks, Mr. Leggy out in the West, doing his thing from east to west outside of Montreal.
You know what's crazy? Since Trump, I stopped following politics.
I know. Isn't that a great feeling, though?
For that.
It is, because there's so much more. You realize it's just a show. It was all a weird show that we were privy to for the first. How long was he in office for? 3 years? 4 years. 4 years. Yeah.
Question: do you think you stopped looking into politics, or do you think they stopped talking about it as much because he's not there?
The latter, and then me afterwards.
Okay.
It's definitely the fact that it's not the first thing I see, because I have my Google News feed that I usually like just go to for a quick dump. I don't really like search news throughout the day or keep up with stuff. I just like in the morning scroll through. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, done. And it used to just Trump and America and Black Lives Matter and like so much. It's just a lot of turmoil, and it was all American based. Like, come on, like. So yeah, this definitely allows us to, man, the Asian hate going on right now. Speaking of American hate.
Two things we got to talk about: that and domestic abuse.
Oh
and,
man,
Rebekah, who passed away in Montreal. So we got to. So things that I feel we need to address. First off, like Toby just said, I posted about it a couple days ago. We stand with our Asian American friends, allies. When the Black Lives Matter marches were happening, I know a lot of my Asian friends were out there supporting. And the Trump, again, like we said, the comments about the Kung flu and stuff like that was dangerous when he said it. It was always wrong. The fact that no one stood up and said, you can't say that. Well, people did say it, but a lot of the people on his side were also repeating that rhetoric. And that was very dangerous. And now all of a sudden they're all backpedaling and backtracking. You got the girl from The View over there being like, it was wrong of me to make those comments. You got Jay Leno on now saying like, guys, it wasn't funny making. It's like, okay, all you guys are just jumping on the bandwagon now, when from jump you should have been paying attention and stopping those types of narratives about Asian Americans.
The thing is, it's about the bottom line, right? They get away with what they can in the moment, and it's always best to act and ask for forgiveness later. Right?
And that's a problem. That's a problem. We gotta be with that stuff, man. Like, it's not cool. And I know some people are. It's such a weird line too, because you have people yelling like snowflake every 2 seconds, but at the same time you do have to generally be careful about what you're saying. There's a 100%. Difference between making comments and making jokes, and people in their own community being allowed to do that, versus someone like why that's the thing I found weird. Why was Jay Leno ever making jokes about Asian people? Like, who the fuck are you, Jay?
So going back to your point. Going back to your point about the fact that people are calling people who say these kind of things now snowflakes. It's like different things for different eras. And a lot of the things that were said back then was because we were all ignorant to the fact that they could be hurting a specific group of people. We just thought it was funny. But the more you learn about these people and the more you learn about culture, as a whole, you realize, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have perpetuated the stereotypes, because we're seeing it with social media now. We're seeing repercussions of doing stuff like that, which is why I hope it doesn't continue. It's kind of, we need to stop giving people like Trump and people who have that kind of like platform this much attention. I don't know.
Yeah. So
there should be repercussions against them in some shape or form for crossing a line. But
you can't see that's a thin line. You can't
exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying.
There's still freedom of speech, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can't necessarily stop people from saying what they want to say, but what you can do is stop giving them the attention and the platform to do so.
Yeah,
because then they won't have anyone to
get it right.
But that's that's the problem, is that they keep feeding into it. It's a disease. It's a virus that's part of that's woven into the American. Actually, honestly, not just America, Western world.
Western world.
Woven into the fabric of the Western world.
It makes me think about the fact that the homeboy who was supposed to get on SNL, who got the boot because people are just like, oh, it's Shane or something. People are just like, no, this dude's a racist. He makes a whole bunch of inappropriate jokes. Remember at one point, right before this season, there was 3 people who were supposed to join up, or 2 years ago, Chloe Fineman, Bowen Yang, and then this white dude. And then they found podcasts with the dude. I don't remember his name now. And also, like you said, we don't need to give them shine. Whatever his name was, he went on. He made a whole bunch of inappropriate jokes, and then SNL was just like, "Oh no, we can't have you." And people are just like, "Oh, he was making jokes." It was that's the thing where it kind of
was it a recent thing or something he did years ago?
It was recent. He had been on the podcast within the last year before he got offered the job, or within the last 2 years or something.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think as people, just in general, we have to learn to just not say things like that because there are consequences to it. So unfortunately, that cut his pocket short there.
Yeah, because in the end, he didn't get his SNL gig, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, well, the liberal snowflakes are trying to cut this guy for comments he made years ago." And that's the problem. That's why I don't like hearing the word snowflake, because it's not liberal snowflakes. It's this guy did something, and the consequence of that action is that SNL found out and said, "Oh, actually, we don't want you to work with us. You've made racially inappropriate jokes. We don't. That's not cool."
You want to know why I agree with it? Is that it sets the precedent for people 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now to not make those same mistakes.
Yes,
because there's a precedence now. You say this thing, you lose this thing. So that in itself will enforce that behavior, hopefully. So I mean, at the end of the day, there is good to overcorrection.
Yeah. So tits to him. He's out.
Look how they. Wow.
What?
I'm just thinking, like, look how they flipped like basic shit, like not being an ignorant racist and kind of like foul person into being a liberal snowflake. Like, how?
I know, yeah, exactly. That's my major issue with it.
The mathematics that goes into that kind of like mind fuckery.
Facts. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They try and label people snowflakes for saying something is inappropriate when the thing that's inappropriate is genuinely inappropriate. No one's being a snowflake. We're just pointing out that that's not cool. It's not okay to do what you're doing.
Dude, that's legit. Like, that's like labeling someone a liberal snowflake for something as like mad as like women beating. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same.
Well, that in itself is which Doc, we were gonna
that's the other thing.
I didn't want to say that was a segue, or it just doesn't feel right.
No, but it's fair because
it's such a
domestic abuse is a problem.
We know it's always a problem, but I'm seeing a spike of it, especially in this past year.
It's the pandemic,
like being locked in. If you already had issues and being locked in the same place.
Yes. I've spoken to a friend of mine who works in, I have a few friends who work in child services, but one of my friends who works in child services says there've been a significant increase in cases because everyone's at home. The kids are at home. The parents are getting stressed. The kids that were already, the kids who are already in abusive households are, they're scared. They're not able to do anything. They're stuck in the house with the abusive parent. The abusive parents are there. They're not going anywhere. And then this is the danger. And then you have on the flip side, the crazy abuse, the crazy parents who are abusive, but also putting the kids at risk because they're anti-vaxxers or anti-maskers who are going out doing whatever and putting the kid at risk medically because they don't care. And then on top of that, being abusive physically, like they're being emotionally abusive. They're putting the kid at risk in whatever they believe in. And then on top of that, they're abusive to the child. So stuff like that is growing, and it's happening, domestic abuse too, with women and men, much smaller scale, but it's happening in households. And
these are things that weren't thought about. Although like halfway through, a lot of us were like, hey, like mental health, it's an issue like for everybody at this point. It is.
It took us a minute to get to that. It's true.
And we have to find a way to make it more accessible during these times. Like, honestly, I think there probably was a better and more sanitary way of allowing the gym to remain open, because I feel like a lot of people, myself included, could have used that as an outlet. You need to have that, especially when you already have issues. Now, I don't know what the solution is to people who go to the extent of taking their partner's life, that to
Yeah.
me is beyond me.
I'll just say this right now.
You know.
We're not the podcast to solve that issue, by the way. If you're tuning into
No, of course
Geektastic
not.
Sci-Fi, we're just discussing these subjects because these are things that are happening and we are seeing them and we are sad about them and we want people to understand that these are things that are going on and we have to speak up about them and hopefully try and find ways for them to be addressed.
Yeah.
But we're not saying we know how to resolve it. I just
no, of course not. It's just because in the past week, 2 people that are connected, people I know, and obviously in Montreal, you guys probably have seen them as well. You know, that has happened to them. So it's real.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's sad, man. It's not easy.
I hope
the
pandemic just made the household a prison. That's all.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying, like, pandemic unfortunately made certain households prisons. Unfortunately.
Yes.
And
I know some people don't like that comparison, but at this point, I think we can understand why that feels. I've never been to prison, so I imagine someone who's been in prison is probably just like, if only. But I mean, in the sense that for people who have never been in this type of situation, this level of confinement, this level of restriction is hard on everybody. You know,
for sure. Imagine living in a household, and we'll change subjects in like a minute, guys. I don't want this to be the saddest podcast ever. Sure. But like for kids who, you know, who use the outside, you know, going outside to play with their friends as an escape from that tyranny, you know, imagine you just don't have that and it's just constant and kids, you know, suicide, like it's, man, the
problem though is that
I shudder to think the nightmare, you know. Anyway,
the problem with that is that it's one of the things that it's the hardest stigma to get rid of, because it's both a stigma that I find people have difficulty like talking about it and hearing it.
Of course.
One, but then there's a 2-layer stigma, because then there's the person who it's happening to. They're in a fear state, right? Like they don't know, and they're worried. Like if I tell you, are we talking about it? Or if you do something about it, if you don't fix it, it's probably going to be worse for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem they have.
I feel like that. I mean, last thing I'm going to say, I feel like it's like that for all the major world issues that were like racism, sexism, abuse. Like it's always super uncomfortable when we bring it up at first. You have to try and normalize conversations about it. Once you normalize conversations about it, we have to keep up the conversations. And the problem with what's going on right now is all these things are coming up at the same time, and it's making it so hard for people to try and address it because it is overwhelming. Like Toby was saying, when your news feed is literally one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, you're definitely going to shut out. You know, we had a meeting. Remember, we had the meeting for the whole collective, and one of the members of the collective didn't know about the UK variant because they said, I had to turn the news off. I haven't been paying attention. What are you guys talking about? And the UK variant had been in the news for like a week at that point. And that person just couldn't. They had to take a break. And I get that. That's hard, man. So, you know, to everyone that's going through stuff, we're here. You know, we're not the best suited to have the discussion on how to fix it, but we are more than happy to facilitate it in any way. If anyone has any ideas, or if anyone wants to reach out to us for us to help with using our platform, Free Agents Media is here. Geektastic Sci-Fi is here. We are all doing amazing things. We all work really hard, and we want to help people as much as possible. So, you know, always feel like you can reach out to us and, you know, hit us up on social media and stuff like that. And we'll do our best. We'll see what we can do. Transitioning into,
you know who else lives in fear and tries to do his best?
Falcon, Winter Soldier. Anyone who's ever seen Winter Soldier, those are people who live in fear. Anyone who saw
honestly, oddly enough, Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky's living in
in personal hell.
One of the things my partner said about Bucky. So, by the way, we're going to go into Falcon and Winter Soldier right now. View the right thing. But one of the things my partner said is, hold on, I want to quote her exactly. She said, "Bucky wakes up every day and chooses depression." Oh. And I was like, "Oh my god,
no,
dude,
that is real. That is real."
Dude, if you wake up and you intentionally went to find the father of someone whose life you took, and you spend your days trying to discuss and talk and befriend and be a shoulder for that person, and then on top of that, never able to tell them the truth because you're afraid of what
that's just weird. That's just weird.
It's not
Yeah,
weird.
it's
choosing
odd though.
depression.
Okay,
That's
hold on.
choosing depression.
If
That's choosing
if it is choosing depression, because and I'm gonna skirt the line here because I don't want to talk about like depression is real. It sucks. I know.
No, I know.
But
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, but
it is weird if I murder somebody.
Yes, of course.
To go find their because I feel guilty to go find instead of confessing my sins, which is the ultimate. Like
you might kill them because they're old.
But it's the ultimate, like,
So-
hey, I'm laying down my sins and I want to pay for them. I'm gonna go be best friends. How sadistic is that? That's
Either way, it's selfish. Either way you look at it, it's selfish. Because if he just fucks it off and is just like, oh, whatever, I killed your son.
No, you go to therapy for all those people that he's killed more than just that son.
Right, but like
he killed Tony's parents for God's sakes, and they fought Tony over it. And so you don't see him trying to befriend Tony after that.
Well, he fought a gigantic war with Tony. I'm pretty sure in between he's like, "Hey, Tony, I'm sorry," and then
I never heard it. You want to know what happened? Actually, no, that's a lie and a half. You want to know what happened? Tony heard and found out about it, went after him. He did not apologize, hid behind Cap. Cap has to go, hey, this is my friend, trust me, he's good, he didn't mean to. And then they gang up on the guy grieving, and then
and then tried to rip the guy's heart out. Like,
dude,
he went into the suit and tried to rip the repulsor out, and then got his arm chopped off for it. But still,
homeboy needs therapy.
Yes, 100%.
It's either that or confess your sins and go sit in jail.
And he's not even trying.
One or the other.
The therapy he's in, it seems like he's not trying. And my favorite part. Okay, so
he's been pardoned, so that's why he can't go to jail.
Yes, which is a whole other problematic thing that
not problematic.
You were a mass murderer.
He saved the world.
Assassin. Yeah, so did
but
Sam.
Okay,
give him all the sins by saving the world after he
listen, wait, hold on. Y'all need to chill out. If my brain
he should have been chipped, and they should be tracking him every moment of the way.
He's a fucking dog.
Yes, this guy got programmed like a dog to murder people. What do you mean? What are you guys talking about?
Exactly. And then after
he had two options: stay in Wakanda, where the Wakandans have the tech to help and protect everybody, or go back to the States and get your ass chipped because you are a danger to society.
He was in Wakanda and the shit came to him, and then he had to fight that shit. He got dusted, came back, saved the world again. You're getting pardoned. I'm sorry, nah.
Oh, sure.
Again, you could get pardoned all you want, but the fine print should say stipulation of this pardon is that we get to track your every movement. Because someone like Zemo can come out of nowhere again and find a way to reprogram you.
Not even just one chip.
Oh man, I hope that's not the ultimate thing here.
I want nanotech in his bloodstream that he can't get out unless he gets a dialysis machine running. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like tracked. Because this dude is a danger. He's a
super danger. I wouldn't feel comfortable next to him if I was Falcon.
Facts. The whole time.
Like, if you guys want to go ahead and defend a serial killer, go ahead. I'm listening.
I've done worse. I will do it.
I'm just saying. The last time, let's say I am Falcon. At one point, as Falcon, I saw this man break out of a secret, deep military, like shield base. Himself versus every single Avenger and every single guard in the building, and got out and escaped. And the only thing that stopped him was because Cap pulled the helicopter down and the real actor tore a muscle in his arm. And those are the, like, that's not someone I want potentially. Oh, Wakanda fixed me. Nigga, we don't know that they fixed you.
Yo, Cap was capping hard for Bucky, yo.
Yeah. They for sure fixed him. Wow,
that's crazy.
I would like to think so.
I would like to believe so. Place in all of Earth, Wakanda is not able to fix the Bucky.
Yes, Bucky getting pardoned. White privilege.
Oh my god!
That might have to be
not even talking anymore.
Hey, like this is one of our listeners, and you know, in some ways, I agree.
I'm with Omar.
But that's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, we spent quite a bit of time talking about Bucky, but we could talk about the actual show.
Yeah, sounds good. Good for an intro. You know, I'll run it through.
Yeah.
Table setting. The episode was just them setting up like, hey, you remember these characters you loved? Remember when they were in the car together and one of them pushed the other one and you guys laughed? We made a whole show about it. Here you go.
That's a table I didn't need set though.
Yo, that whole shit about
Us though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For someone who's just coming in or who hasn't watched the movies in a really long time. Yeah,
you know what I am. You know what I'm actually realizing now after WandaVision and now this and now you guys are saying this. I'm like,
well, it's what Dave said last time. At the end of the day, a lot of these shows
aren't for us.
They're not for us. They're not.
Yeah.
We get the benefit of them because we enjoy the characters and we get to enjoy what they're doing. But the show itself is not produced with
feels
like informed nerds in mind.
It feels stale.
No, but at
early days,
we could
either stale. You know what? I'm not gonna go stale. I'm gonna say unripe. It doesn't feel like it's edible for me yet. You know what I mean?
But remember the first 2 episodes of Wanda, though. The first 2 episodes of Wanda. I
was okay with Wanda from the beginning because it was so different. It was a TV. It was of a different format compared to what we're seeing in Bucky and Falcon here, which looks like a movie that's cut into 6 parts. Like WandaVision looked and felt different, which is why I was okay with. I was intrigued. This definitely feels like they should have just released the movie.
I'll give my 2 cents. First episode for me as a nerd, Joaquin Torres showing up, big points because that's Falcon's Falcon. When he becomes Cap and he has his sidekick, Joaquin Torres becomes that Falcon. So that was dope. I was excited to see that. I was excited to see the opening action sequence. I was excited to see our boy George fighting again with the foot stomp, the heel like drop again. Nice to see.
Can I just mention something quickly? And this is just, we'll mention this afterwards more in depth, but I love how DC makes a big deal about killing people. Marvel doesn't blink at it.
Oh yeah.
About what?
About killing people.
Yeah, Falcon
killed like 10 people and it was funny.
Oh yeah.
People
are dying.
Yeah, Falcon kill people.
He joke killed.
Yeah. It was wild, actually. I remember watching that sequence and being like, "My God, Falcon! How many people did you kill in this sequence?
Like really? Like did you have to hook the guy up out the damn helicopter, bro?
Yeah.
Right? Now you're getting fancy.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's true.
It's finesse. It's finesse. You
wait a second. Oh, but wait. I mean, they are bad guys.
Yeah, but
that's why the government wouldn't care.
Shooting at him, right?
There is also a morality thing where it's like this is how the government would function. Right?
Yes. But Skinny's point, and I agree with it, is like when DC does this stuff, you know, Batman goes out of his way to like lean someone over the edge of a building and be like, tell me everything you know. But he's not trying to actually kill people. Yes, he cripples them and leaves them in wheelchairs and stuff.
Snyder Batman definitely killed people.
Well, yeah, if they do, they make a bigger deal out of it, which I'm saying, like, you'll be like, Wonder Woman.
Superman killed people.
Right?
Yeah. Well, wait, are you talking about the parademons? Because I don't count those as people.
Like, he killed Zod.
Yes, okay. Yes, but okay, I see what you're saying.
Diana faked the dude like without thinking. She was just like, "Children, don't look, blink."
That was.
Do you think you survived that?
No, he's dead. But man, dude, when she did it, and they pulled back and they showed the explosion, I was just like, I gotta give you points. That man,
she didn't have to do that.
But know, I know she did not have to do that.
You're taking like a little pebble from the ground and just throwing it at his leg and taking his leg out or something, you know?
I gotta say, but you know why I like that about Diana? Wait, okay, no, hold on. Falcon.
Yeah, we're jumping.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. So Falcon and Winter Soldier. My final thought, like my final points on the things I like so far: a lot of table setting, a lot of a little bit of like little things that nerds notice, and those are the things that I find exciting. Same thing with WandaVision. There's all the little things as nerds that we're just like, oh, did you see that? Oh, you saw that? And I don't want it to lead us away from the story. Last time with WandaVision, when you listen to the director talk about how the show was planned and stuff like that, he did say a lot of time like, yeah, you guys latched on to stuff that I definitely was not planning to make bigger. Like, and that's unfortunate because I hope people enjoyed the show and it didn't ruin the experience for them because, it didn't come to fruition. Like, oh, I really wanted to see Mr. Fantastic. That didn't happen, but we still enjoyed the show. At least I did. For some of the nerds out there, I think they might have not enjoyed it as much because they had so many hopes on it. With this
WandaVision, I love WandaVision.
Yeah, me too. with this show though, Falcon, everything I've seen so far, nothing's like there's no hints that I'm just like, oh, dope. The only thing is I'm interested in finding out who was the guy with the mask, the flag, who seems like a meta or whatever. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing, like finding out what guy that is, because I feel like that guy might be, because we're, you know, the villain this year, this series is Zemo.
Right.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some Thunderbolt characters introduced. That's what I'm assuming.
I'm that's the
so,
one and only expectation I have. Like,
exactly.
Like, so like compared to Wanda, where you had so many things you were wondering, I'm like, that's the one thing that I would expect to at least see one or two random cameos.
Yeah. So that's, for me, I was just like, oh, which Thunderbolt character could that have been? Who's so strong, could knock people across the room and stuff like that. So stuff like that I'm looking forward to. But those are my 2 cents.
For me, it was the opening sequence was very good. The only thing I was worried about, and it's something I'm still worried about, like, are they going to keep up this type of effects in the other episodes? I hope so. I hope it's not like, you know, when we got Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. the first time, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then like every other one's like significantly worse.
True.
Then again, with WandaVision, they were able to balance it with the budget. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff left, and it looks like you used a lot of budget for that first part.
Well, I mean, the whole series cost 150 million to shoot.
Yeah.
So, I imagine WandaVision was around the same price.
Yeah,
they got money. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I kind of liked seeing the aspect of like them not being heroes, and also kind of still having remnants of like the blip. Like I liked Falcon's conversation with his sister when she was just like, she turns around and is like, look, you're not around here anymore. You're like doing this Avenger stuff, which you're not getting paid, so I'm handling everything. And then you left for 5 years where I handled everything.
I hate that shit because, excuse my language, but B don't talk to me like that after they save the world.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But
I think the world not speaking.
It's understandable.
Yeah, but okay, I agree with you with you save the world, but you save the world, and I'm not hating on that. But at the end of the day, when you save the world, if I don't have the money to pay for the boat, and you don't have the money because saving the world doesn't pay, then don't come at me and be mad that I'm getting rid of the boat, because I have kids to feed, and you and your superhero looking ass is not the one feeding these kids, and I have bills, and I can't like that's the thing.
Been robbing a bank when I was saving the world, and nobody was looking this way. I don't know. Get your hustle.
But in her defense, one thing I find weird is like,
go rob a bank.
By being in the Avengers, you have access to Stark money. I'm surprised that Stark.
No, you don't. This is not like the Justice League where they have access to Batman money.
This is also not the comics.
Stark money, Stark and Wakanda money.
No, you have access to Stark tech.
Yes.
His money does not touch your pockets.
You're carrying that shit yourself, as you can see.
Yes.
Let me correct that. Considering Tony Stark knows you and Pepper knows you, and they had a tendency to take care of people, if you turn around and be like, so
I feel bad
saying with you can't help me buy my house back?
You guys know what I'm about to say, right? I'm not trying to, I don't want to say it, but Dave, in the beautiful world you live in, that's how things play out. In the world we live in, we already knew that our rich white friend was not just going to start giving out checks every other day.
Well, wait, Brian, let me play it out for you. Hold on.
Now this is your problem. Walk away.
No, I don't think he tossed him. I'll point out though. Remember, the last time they were working, at one point they weren't working together.
But there's also a falsity here.
There's no way you. I'm sorry. There's no way you think Tony was like financing and paying for their life.
No, I think Tony was financing the Avengers and the compound and giving, and there was food, and those who lived there were living there,
but not in their personal bank accounts.
No,
There's
exactly.
Going on to our initial question we were going to ask today. Do you think heroes should be paid?
But in this scenario, isn't technically Falcon a government project? In which case, wouldn't he be a government employee?
Contractor. At the
contractor
no, but he does say it in the episode that he is getting like paid on this government contract, but it doesn't sound like he's getting paid. Like he sounds like he's getting paid a regular job.
You know what it is though. So here's my thing. It's not that. It's so I had a very long discussion with someone this morning in one of the nerd chats because they kept telling us we were all crazy, and I was trying to explain to them. in most countries, one of the things I looked up, if someone is like presumed dead, it's 7 years. The exception to that is if they're presumed dead due to a major event.
Yeah.
So let's use that logic. When the blip happens, you're going to presume people are dead. You're not after a year of everyone being blipped, after 2 years, you're going to start saying those people are dead. You're going to close out those estates. So everything that happened to Sam before that point is moot, because as far as the world was concerned, he was one of the dead people.
Yeah.
Now, take into consideration, this show starts 6 months after the return from the blip. In 6 months, how do you fix half the world's population's financials so that people can get their shit back together? So it doesn't matter if he gets his social security number back and he's able to take military contracts.
He's a newborn baby, essentially.
He's a newborn baby. All that,
and that's the easiest way to solve the problem. It's just hey, they were all dead. Now you have a new number now. Here you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which sucks, but it makes sense to me. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be solving people's problems for decades.
Exactly.
I lost all my credit.
So even if wipe the credit. You probably fix some people's lives. Like you were in debt and you've been gone, and you come back, they wipe it. Hey, so be it.
What?
Again,
if and I come back with an 8. God.
Yeah, if it was like 1,000 people, they'd work to fix the problem. We're talking billions here.
Billions.
Yeah.
We're talking at least 3.5 billion people on Earth disappeared, and whatever their financial situations were had to get wiped. So everyone who's arguing about like Pepper Potts, this, that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
Because 6 months ago, he popped back up, and even then, his finances are going to take some time to get fixed.
But like, how good? Think about it if it was you. I mean, I guess some people would be okay knocking on their friend's door and going, "Hey, could you loan me $100,000?" But like, but I don't know if that's how. Like, I don't feel good doing that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't feel good doing that.
Well, and that's the other thing. You can tell that Sam's pride. Like, Sam doesn't like to. He doesn't want to ask people for money.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and another thing, and to what Dave was saying about the blip, that was really important. That scene where Sam says, I already know the stuff about the bank loan, goes into the bank, says the stuff about the bank loan, and Homeboy's just like, yeah, it's been 5 years. 3.5 billion people pop back up. The rules had to change and tighten. And he didn't know that, because in 6 months, quote unquote, 5 years and 6 months that he's been gone, things changed. In his head, he just thought things were the same. Yeah. And those were actually really important scenes.
Huge. And I think Heroes should be crowdfunded.
Oh, yeah.
And the people you're saving are the ones, it just automatically comes. I'd pay $100 a month for Heroes to be around.
Heroes for Hire? That's what's funny too. In the comic book, Heroes for Hire was always looked down on for what they were doing. At the end of the day, it's the way they should have done it. Why?
What do you want me to do? Live on the streets and then save your ass so you can go back home to your shelter?
Boy, would you see my GoFundMe ad every day. Holy shit.
Right? Or I use my powers for my own damn selfish needs. Yeah. And go rob a bank, and you wouldn't do nothing about it.
Exactly.
Yo, you want to Cash App or Venmo me? I'm sponsored. Hit me up.
That's right.
Logo on the side right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this money.
That guy stabbing you. It's okay. Take your phone out. Send it to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
It's all good. I'm a speedster. It's cool.
It's okay. Don't worry. I have healing powers, bro. Trust me. It hurts right now, but I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. Just send the money for.
Oh my god.
Speaking of which, the pleasant surprise and spoilers, everyone. If you didn't watch the episode, you might want to turn your screen off right now. But I'm about to share it. We got introduced to our new guy.
Oh,
Captain America.
Ooh, boy.
Man.
Boy,
U.S. agent, what are you doing?
You've been waiting to do that all week, haven't you?
I've been waiting for this. I did not realize.
Neither did I.
That Chris Evans.
Hold on.
I never noticed the chin strap on Chris Evans.
Hold on. We got it. Because for people listening, if you guys haven't seen, people have been using the image of the granddad or dude from Up and put Captain America's helmet on him, because Wyatt Russell, for some odd reason, looks exactly like this motherfucker right here. It is crazy how well
this guy is never gonna be remembered for this movie.
Dude, I was like, why did they even put the chin strap then?
Yeah,
take the chin strap off. It's not doing many favors.
I guess Chris Evans just has a better jawline.
And you just don't notice it, right? It just blends. But this looks like the chin strap is just too big for his chin almost. It's just like bulky, so just get rid of it. find a different way to hold the thing down, like redesign. But maybe they didn't have time to redesign the helmet.
Yeah.
Or we're just supposed to really hate the guy so much that we noticed that. Like those are the only two.
Yo,
agent.
Question to you guys.
Yeah.
When you because even though we knew going in that this show was going to be about Sam possibly trying to get the shield back, did it still bother you when you saw him handing it over at that ceremony at the Smithsonian?
Yeah.
Because even knowing that, okay, I know he's going to get it back, I was still so vexed. Like, dude, you worked so hard and you were handed the shield. It was given to you because the person who wielded this shield before felt that you were the next person to have it.
That's like your idiot friend who finds a wallet with $1,000 and gives the wallet back. Or at least
it's close,
I mean, I
understand where
in hopes of getting. I'm the guy who found 2 iPhones in the span of like 6 months once and tried to get both the phones back to people.
Oh.
For the sake of the podcast, we're all gonna say we would do the same.
Gentlemen to evil.
No,
hell yeah.
So,
the podcast. We're gonna all pretend.
The saints over here.
Just going back to U.S. agent, or actually, he's not U.S. agent. He's Captain America.
Yes,
he is Captain America.
Soon to be U.S. agent.
And it's played by Wyatt Russell, a son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Should be interesting. I can't wait to see if he gets brutal in the sense that we're expecting.
Did you guys notice he already has a gun?
Yes, he did. He did have a gun in his head, so he's free to shoot.
Already ahead,
But Sam, I could understand why Sam gave the shield away. What's that, dude?
In the first movie, so did Cap, though. Cap had a gun in the first.
Yeah, but the first movie he was fighting World War II.
Everybody had a gun.
So I could see
this dude has a vibranium shield. I didn't think he'd be carrying the gun, so that's why
you can't throw.
I can see why Sam gave it away because it's a lot. It's heavy. It's definitely like a heavy, big shoes to fill. But I think you work your way into it, and you don't give something that valuable to you, especially away. So
the meaning, the sentiment behind it. There's so many reasons why. And that scene,
and he didn't have to, right? Did I miss that? He wasn't like told.
No, they had to ask him to give it to him because I think he kept it. But the thing is, it's also a reminder that you're. I mean, I'm saying this a bit of a stretch, but one of your best friends is dead, and you get to hold that reminder constantly.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair. Your friend who quote unquote passed away because I mean.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, is Cap actually dead, or they're just saying that?
We don't know. Yeah, that's true. We don't know.
They're telling the government that because they're like, where'd the
I mean, OCAP is alive.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think that's what Dave's saying. Like, who at this point, for us as fans, we know he's alive. But as far as the United States of America is concerned, the soldier formerly known as Captain America, Steve.
Yeah, because then you have to explain time travel, and then
no, they did say he's dead. They did say he's dead for sure because it was supposed to be a one-way trip, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay. So, I mean, we also saw that scene with War Machine, who's the quote unquote sidekick to Iron Man, standing next to Falcon, the sidekick to Captain America, the 2 black sidekicks having their moment. How did you guys feel about that? I had
2 halves make a whole.
Yeah, I had. Yeah,
man, I really hated it when he called me boy. What about you?
I was secretly hoping they were gonna have like a hey, the motherfuckers is gone. That's
he tried to speak jive once.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Falcon. Pepper's pregnant.
Oh shit!
Is that good? Imagine.
No.
Oh my god! I have turned it off. This is getting wild in here.
So you know that 100K you're looking for? I got you, bro. I got you. It's mine now.
Brody the Falcon. Hey, did Steve ever get racist? Say something to you?
Oh, man.
I know he had a list. Did the list have any weird things that we should have been concerned about? Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, first episode, I think we're all saying obviously to watch the show, but at the same time, first episode, at least from my perspective, kind of like it's not a thumbs up, it's not a thumbs down, it's a okay.
Yeah, it is. It's the reverse effect of WandaVision for me, because I was super excited at the beginning, and towards the end, I realized the unraveling where things were already new, and it just kind of took away the excitement from me. So, but this is kind of like the opposite.
You had said you actually wished you got to have Falcon and Winter Soldier before WandaVision, right? Because if it had been in that order, this buildup would have been more fun. But because of what happened with the other one.
I have such high expectations for this one now, right?
I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't understand it the first time you said it, but I understand now.
But it benefits, and at the same time, it's because I said it also benefits Falcon and Winter Soldier that it came after WandaVision, because people are going to want to watch to see, where it leads to. It's like you know what I mean? It's not for us though as fans, as deep diving fans. It's for the people who know the movie world only. Really,
they might have realized too that this wasn't the big pop opener that they wanted. So they might uppercut you and then kind of just beat you slowly with this.
I want to get beaten up.
Right. So you got beat up with WandaVision, and then this is just gonna kick you while you're down a little bit.
Man, so many sound bites today. It's crazy.
Oh my god,
Jesus.
Guys, we got to get into it though.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So we got to get into.
I get some juice first. Hold up. I need my cup.
So for all of you tuned in right now, if you have not seen the Snyder cut of Justice League, we are going to be discussing the Snyder cut of Justice League right now here on Geektastic Sci-Fi. We hope you guys are ready for this. It's going to get a little heavy. It's going to get a little crazy. We're probably going to say a lot of inappropriate things about a lot of different people.
Should we start with the good then? Or start with the bad and with the good.
Okay, I just have.
Let Ryan go for 5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes. I have one point that I wanted to bring up before we go into this.
Let's hear it.
Because I want to set table setting like we did for Falcon Winter Soldier episode 1. I'm going to set the table. I want to ask you guys a question. If I had a basketball player who hits threes.
I'm sorry.
I don't know who's
Steph Curry. Is it Steph Curry?
Well, no, because I don't want you to compare. You know what? Forget names. I have 2 basketball players. They both have decent jump shots. They both hit solid from the line. I want to see who can hit the most threes. I tell the first guy, okay, you have 10 minutes to hit 10 threes. And then I tell the other guy, you have as much time as you think it will take you to hit 10 threes.
That's deep.
That's how I felt with this whole project.
That's deep.
Because
the analogy makes sense.
Because to me, now don't get me wrong, Whedon, you're a monster. You obviously are not a good person. We've heard the stories. So, but aside from who you are as a person, when it comes to directing, I don't think it's a fair comparison that if I gave this guy 2 hours and I gave this guy as much time as you feel you need to unfold the story, I feel like those are 2 very different projects. And
they also got different mandates. Joss Whedon was told to come in and make it more humorous and cut all of Snyder's scenes.
Thank you. These are all things I've had conversations with a few different people. From my perspective, Joss Whedon walked into a project that was already in the go. He didn't get final approval of the stuff. He was told to rewrite segments. He was told to punch up segments. He changed aspects of the story. The studio had ideas and visions for certain things, and Whedon came in and was told, "Hey, man, you made the Avengers fun and funny. And you did such a cool thing. Here's this movie that we've already started and already has parts filmed and already has actors who have moved on to other projects. But we want you to figure out filming and fixing and telling us that story in exactly 2 hours."
It was a losing battle. He wasn't set up for success there.
Exactly.
100%.
And then fast forward to release the Snyder cut. Cool.
Which should have been the original movie, and I see why it was hard for Joss to make anything out of this.
Exactly.
The look, just outside of the plot or anything, the look of the movie, the feel of what you're supposed to be getting from the warm tones and the darkness, just not coincide with the light.
Exactly.
Right. You have to change the filming style in order to actually get some of these things to.
You can tell too. Like
Yeah.
when you watch, I watch certain scenes back to back to see the difference, and even just like you said, the lighting, the color correction, all that stuff that they did.
He tried to make it brighter.
He genuinely tried, but it also wasn't filmed to look like that. It was filmed with the intention of being in darkness and in shadows, and this colorful, saturated Whedon version was never going to look like it made sense.
No, and you know what? I will say one good thing about one character that I don't know why he became such a focal point, but the Flash in Whedon's version annoyed the shit out of me.
Oh my god,
his running form, the jokes, everything that just made him a caricature of the one I got in this movie. I was like, oh, steady dose.
Yeah,
I didn't have to see his running form too much. It was so bad. It was so bad.
I just want to say one thing though. At the end of the day, if Whedon got 4 hours and Snyder got 4 hours,
and the same time starting.
Yes, I still think Snyder made the better movie.
100%.
I'm just saying
100%.
that in the situation where I'm trying to compare a 2-hour film that had restrictions to a 4-hour film that could have been 6 hours if he wanted, because he was literally told, make the movie how you need to make it and make the cut how you need to tell, like as long as you need to tell the story. Those to me are two very different projects.
100%.
I assess the Snyder cut separately.
Yeah, same.
And from
I
that,
hated the Whedon version.
Sorry.
Hated the Whedon version.
Yes.
I think we're all on the same page with that.
Oh, yeah, garbage.
Now, seeing the original version that we were supposed to see.
Ish. Again.
Ish. He got to add way more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because we already know, first off, all the things that we didn't like about the Whedon cut, Snyder wouldn't have had in his version. We wouldn't have gotten a better Flash. We already know that.
No.
You wouldn't have had a Batman smiling.
No.
We
wouldn't have gotten as much Cyborg as we got.
I'm so happy that we got I'm happy we got as little Aquaman as we got.
Yes.
I love that. I loved it. If that was my intro to Aquaman and I just saw that, I'd be like, all right, I want to see more. You know what I mean? But it made me hate him in the Whedon version. Huh?
You had also William Dafoe. William Dafoe wasn't in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it felt more organic because Aquaman came after it, right? Like, so it felt so like taking that in mind. I was like, this is more organic than what we got before. You were just like, how does he know everything? Like, what's going on?
Where did you get that top?
Like, what's
Yo, shit, that's a good point.
Yeah.
At the end of the Whedon movie, Aquaman has a full armor. Where did he get that stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't even think about
gave it to him. He had it in his hand, like, take this, nigga. Like, you need
it. Yeah, see, stuff like that. I like, you know, I get it.
Martian Manhunter's intro was
hold on.
Let me wait.
Yeah,
not the middle thing.
Hold on, go ahead, Skinny.
All right, ball. Hit it.
He dribbles up the court and listen. So my man Martian, dude, you saw the first fight with Doomsday. I'm gonna sit this one out. You see Superman die. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yep.
All right. Steppenwolf shows up, gets one box. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yep.
Gets 2 boxes. Now I'm gonna go visit Lois and pretend to be Martha G. Check this out. Oh,
to tell her to go live her life.
Right?
What was that?
What was the point of that?
The nigga gets the 3rd box. I'm gonna sit this one out. They somehow saved the world. Technically, they didn't because the Flash still had to run back in time and stop Superman from getting vaporized.
Which was beautiful compared to the first version where he's saving families from buildings.
Super beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Super beautiful. But they still lost.
Oh, sorry. Saving families from buildings while speeding in a race with Superman to do it.
Yes.
What was that? Anyway, sorry.
If the Flash did not complete that and they all died, now the Martian shows up and says, sorry, wakes my man up, who clearly needs a nap after like a week of no sleep. All right. Batman hasn't slept in days. This guy's gonna wake you up and be like,
hey man,
I'm here to help.
Yeah.
By the way, call me the Martian Manhunter. Nigga, nobody calls you that.
Yo, no one knows you exist because you hid. Yeah, bro, I'm sad. I'm almost sad. Like this is a character. No, I'm not here. Hold on. This is a character This is a character. If you know me, I've been calling for.
We've done an
years.
episode of That's Canon where we specifically about Martian Manhunter.
And to see him like this, man, bro.
Yeah.
He's going around like Cinderella and just said, "Look at my cape." And like, oh my god,
they pulls the Superman exit at the end.
Yeah,
I agree with Devin on this.
Footage. They just put a new paint on that footage.
1 second though, I want to go back.
Go.
I'd like to point out, not even just Doomsday. He was there when Zod showed up because he's in Man of Steel. So he's literally been there from the jump and didn't help once.
Can you not?
Major world
I've seen comparisons to him and Wong. He's got nothing on Wong. Wong is a badass who probably didn't need to be there with the battle against Thanos. He had other things to do, but we know what he went off to do. Whereas Martian Manhunter,
what have you been doing?
We didn't know this motherfucker existed. Period. He hid.
Dude, I was so mad when I heard Martian Manhunter was going to be in the film because I was just like, how are you going to add in? Where are you adding Martian Manhunter? And then when I found out that it was the general, I was just like, well, that guy's been there since. Because even
why couldn't he just come from Mars?
Like supervision.
Why couldn't he have just been like, I don't know, but just give me something where he was so preoccupied that he couldn't make it to Earth, but whatever he was doing is coming to Earth, and he's coming to warn Earth or something, but not this, man.
And I agree with Toby. It was an insult to the character to introduce him the way they did, where he's trying to get Lois, because the original movie had Lois show up at the site because Alfred drives her when Superman wakes up and she gets out of the car. And I guess so the Whedon version needed to figure out how to get her there, so Alfred does it. In the Snyder version, they needed to figure out how to get her there, so they had Martian Manhunter pretend to be someone else. I don't understand.
Is Martha dead?
No, because she's not in the movie. So
he was driving to Lois to get help.
They're eventually going to have a conversation. They're eventually going to have a conversation in which she's going to be like, "Hey, remember that time you gave me that pep talk? What pep talk? Exactly. And that's it. Like, no one knows what's happening."
Yeah, and that's also considering that Manhunter was one of the original founding members of the Justice League of America. That's another thing that really
he is not allowed to be in anything less than more than the Teen Titans at this point. Like he is not in the league; he's in the G League. Don't bring him up to the NBA.
And that's one of my problems with what the DCEU was trying to do. They tried to upgrade Cyborg to replace Martian Manhunter. And I
agree. I like the story. I like that they gave him more of a shine and that we saw the depth. But you're right.
I don't understand why Martian Manhunter. Don't get me wrong. I think Martian Manhunter was Cyborg's an interesting character, but Cyborg is a Teen Titans character and a Doom Patrol character. I would have been perfectly fine with him not being in the movie if they had just introduced Martian Manhunter.
No, then we wouldn't have gotten Black Ian Eckhart there.
But no, but hold on. There's such better ways to introduce Martian Manhunter. Yeah. Somehow, because of his connection to the military, he knows that Silas Stone is working on this thing. Yes. He somehow has the insider information, so he's the one who goes to Cyborg and says, "Hey, like I've been watching, but I feel like we need to act because this will bring about another quote unquote doomsday, and I'm going to tell you to come work." They could have done anything else.
Yeah. But I agree.
The title could be a soundbite. That was
but that's the thing. I genuinely agree because deciding to make Batman the one who, because he saw the Flash in that scene, takes it upon himself to be like, okay, I have to build a team. Instead of making it Martian Manhunter, and you could have used Martian Manhunter working with Bruce. You could have used Martian Manhunter working with anyone to decide he thinks we need to build a team, because as an alien would have been one of the most informed people about what's happening in outer space. But instead, they decided to do it by like, I need 2 seconds. I'm going to get really mad.
How are you?
I need a second. I need a second because we need to address this one because this one was really bad. I wrote it down to make sure. Okay,
man.
While you collect yourself,
can we please address the fact that Darkseid, before he was Darkseid and the ruler,
oh man, let's go.
Darkseid showed up to Earth with an armada.
Yep.
Zeus got his ass out of here.
Yes, got his ass beat. But they beat his ass so bad that no one remembered where Earth was.
They beat dude. Yo,
there's an army with him.
I'm so glad you said this because I was going to bring it up.
He gets beat up and dragged back to the ship. The ship starts to take off. There's other ships taking off. None of them thought, yo, we need to mark this because when he gets better, he's going to want to come and whoop their asses. No. And yes. I would assume that if you're traveling through space, you have some sort of log to show you how. Oh, we got to that. What's the unknown planet? How do we get back? How did we get back from the? Oh, I was asleep. I was unconscious, so maybe one of you. No one wrote it down. No, okay. I'm Lord Darkseid, so it's okay though. I'm a caring and understanding individual, so I'm not going to hurt anyone for no one paying attention and no one anything.
I found the anti-life equation on a planet that I've been looking for this thing for thousands of years.
It's my entire fucking backstory.
It's my only purpose in life.
It's the equivalent of Thanos and Lady Death. The anti-life equation is Darkseid's death. He wants that. He spends his entire time looking for it. And you guys wrote into the story that when he was on the planet where the anti-life equation is, he didn't even remember. That is
not that he didn't remember, that he didn't know that it was there, and he didn't remember the planet because I imagine in this world, Darkseid is like Debo, and you know when you're like, "Hey Debo, where's my chain?" He's like, "What chain?" So it's more like, "Hey Debo, Darkseid, remember when you got knocked out? What fight? What
exactly?" He probably erased this from existence, so nobody could say he got beat.
What are you?
I'll believe that over the crap I got sold in the damn movie.
Yeah,
that's right.
He actually didn't give a reason why he forgot. That's the thing. I think that's the thing that pissed me off the whole movie. No reason why no one remembered where it was.
I felt for Steppenwolf.
Yes,
I'm like, this guy is doing everything he can for this dude, and he still owes him 50,000 worlds.
I found the plan.
I found the thing that you got your ass bust for. You got your ass bust. And I found the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I still owe you 50,000 worlds.
And the crazy part is, I'm Steppenwolf. I could take the anti-life equation. Why am I gonna call you up? Decide, decide. What's up, boy? Can you let homeboy know I found the anti-life equation? Wait, you know what? Nah, forget it. Missed call. Wrong number.
But that's why I felt bad for the dude. This guy just wanted a family, man.
Yeah, he really did.
He didn't no matter what cost, he was willing to do anything for a family.
He could have had a family to the anti-life equation.
And Darkseid legit, they opened a portal and they watched homeboy get murked.
Yeah, and
they just watched him like it was TV, bro, like it was a movie, and it was done. Got his head cut off.
It made me think of Zuko from Avatar, The Last Airbender, how he spends his whole life trying to get back into the Fire Nation. Steppenwolf is literally just trying to get back into the apocalypse. Dude. And it's just like, nah, homie, you ain't cool. And Darkseid is such a little snitch of a bitch. He's just like, yo, I told you that bitch couldn't do it. And like, no, he's dead. His head
he couldn't do it.
He legit said that.
Bro, what got me was when he was like on his knees and he strips down to his arm, and you're like, "Oh, you're not scary. You just And then here comes Superman and burn off his damn horn. Like,
okay. Can we talk about how powered up Superman is, though? In this
Wow.
We've always said Superman is one of the most annoying characters because he's too OP.
Yeah.
I've already given you guys my theory on why he is the way he is. I think every generation who grew up reading Superman saw him as being bigger than life, and when they got their chance to write him, they wrote him bigger than life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're a kid who read Superman in the 30s, by the time you're writing Superman in the 50s, you're gonna write Superman like, oh, he can leap tall buildings in the silver bound. Nah,
but can I ask? But can I ask? Okay, Darkseid went to this planet.
Yeah,
fought gods upon gods.
Yeah.
Fought ancient Civ.
Yeah.
The strongest of them all.
Yes.
And Steppenwolf comes to Earth, and they're scanning every planet supposedly for Kryptonians.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no Kryptonians. There's no. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
You're saying like why they would do that? You mean?
Yeah. Think about it, Dave. If the one planet that beat you didn't have Kryptonians on it at the time, why are Kryptonians the thing you're worried about if you've already wiped out all the other planets? Anytime
they made a point
there
of
could
saying
be the assumption that in the galaxies, Kryptonians are known for their powers. They're aware that there's a sun.
But Kryptonians are only good under a yellow sun.
And
them knowing that they're in our solar system where there is a sun.
A yellow sun. Okay. Oh,
yellow sun, like,
so he just thought all them people were just Kryptonians.
Well, you double check, motherfucker.
Okay.
They look the same.
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if Kryptonians, as far as we know, I don't know if Kryptonians ever went off world. Based on the history I know of Krypton.
Yeah, no. Sorry, yes. There were scientific explorations because remember, we find out that there's another group that survived.
Because they did what we're trying to do right now on our planet, which is going to explore other planets for potential be able to terraform it so that we can live there some century from now.
Yeah.
So I get that, but I don't think there's ever been rumblings of people shaking in their boots because Kryptonians are around.
Agreed. Yeah.
Which
not like Invincible. Where, like if you guys have, which by the way starts on Amazon Prime. This is not an ad, but shout out to them on the 26th. Bong bong, really excited. But in the comic book Invincible, those guys are actively going to every other planet to take over planets. So I would understand if Darkseid was afraid of those guys, but the Kryptonians we know of were scientists who are now, some of them are crazy because they're looking for they're the last of their kind, so they're aggressive, but like we don't know, like General Zod and the Homegirl and the other whatever
who show up, they can take on Darkseid. You know what I mean? Like
Superman. One of the reasons that Superman is as strong as he is because remember he grew up in a yellow sun.
Exactly.
He didn't just absorb it
when he came back to life. He legit wore the black suit, which helps him absorb more. Of the yellow sun to get more energy. Right.
Because that's the thing. Like Zod and Homegirl and stuff. Those guys had powers. Because they, toyed around with the yellow sun and were just like, oh shit, nigga, we got powers now. But Superman.
Also, the mother box called out to you from the same damn planet you got your ass beat on, and you're still gonna tell me you didn't know the anti-life equation wasn't there?
No.
What
planet?
That shit.
What planet?
Just that's the title. What planet might have to be the title too?
Wow. Okay. This movie is flawed as hell. It shows me Zack Snyder doesn't really know these characters very well. It's very visible to me. Whedon does, but Whedon didn't get the time, nor did he get the freedom to work on it the way he probably would have wanted to work on it. Great. But this to me does not, I don't care what the internet is saying. This does not warrant a sequel. I want it erased from existence.
Yeah, okay.
I want this Martian Manhunter.
Let's go.
I do not want this Martian Manhunter out there. I don't. Yeah. This version of the Flash, I'm more okay with now.
Yeah,
I want this version of Wonder Woman constantly.
Yes.
This version of Superman. This version of Batman. Not so much.
I'm good. I don't care.
Aquaman. Okay, sure. But
I mean, we pretty much got this version of Aquaman.
Yeah. The more toned down, less heavy on the stupid surfer dude jokes. Wow, gross.
Big thing. Other big thing that Snyder did that I really hated: the music cues.
What is that, man? And some bad music.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Zach,
See, here's the thing. You know what else he said? And he
needs
I
to
don't know
calm
what
down with those. Those were
he said the
too
same
much.
thing about Man of Steel. It's like Man of Steel is a good movie if it had a better score.
What do you
No,
listen to, boy?
You need to calm down, Zach. Not every character, every time they walk into the scene, needs their theme music to play full blast. And dude, I read something. I don't know if you guys saw it. 25%, 24 minutes or 25 minutes of the film of a 4-hour film is in slow motion.
Jesus.
Speaking of which,
Too much slow
too
motion.
much slow motion.
Way too much.
So much slow motion that when people are moving, I'm like, is this a fight scene or what am I watching here?
Yep.
It doesn't help further the story at all. It's just he thought this is a cool effect that he did once and just can't. He's addicted. He's like a cocaine addict when it comes to slow motion.
Like,
since 300.
Is it Michael Bay that does the flares, the light flares?
Yeah, Michael Bay is the explosion guy.
Yeah, sorry.
Michael Bay
is
and
JJ is the flare.
Flexi cars and explosions.
Yeah.
JJ is the flare like Star Trek. You know?
Yeah. So JJ with the flares, Michael Bay with the explosions, and Zack Snyder with the fucking slow motion.
It's
Guys,
too much.
You don't need to have signatures that prevalent in your movies. It becomes something you're known for to the point where it's annoying to see. Like you're not hackers leaving your secret code. We're watching your movie. Your name's on the front of the damn thing. You don't need to put your signature all over it.
You know what's funny about this though? John Woo.
Yeah.
One of the most famous directors in the world has a thing with slow-mo and doves as well.
Cool. He's cool when he does it.
He knows how to do it.
He picks his moments. He picks his moments.
Filming is an art.
Yeah, exactly.
It can look like a sunset or it can look like a pilot.
No, though. It really does come down to the fact that John Woo knew how to use it better because the way he was using the slow, like
it was emotional. It was like he picked the right cue, did it at the right time. It was like, this makes sense at this time. They're coming to face each other for something dramatic to set the scene. This is just like every time someone's about to fight. All right, press the slow-mo button. Let's go.
I know they re-added the scene with Iris West, but also I didn't need the scene with Iris West.
Yes.
Too much slow-mo. Okay.
I thought
they need to take cues. They need to take cues from Quicksilver X-Men experts when it comes to a speedster scene. It's so slow and long.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep. I'm like, get to it.
Yeah. Quicksilver's was fun and it was energetic. The way Barry did it, where he like lies underneath her and caresses. First of all,
you're pretty creepy.
Yeah, that's a creep move. This girl
is faster than Quicksilver, by the way.
He is. He is faster.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that they'd want to depict it as such that he literally micro. He literally is moving that fast.
Yeah.
But we didn't need it to really be shown that fast. Like, come on.
You also set her down like right next to a big ass explosion and what debris, my nigga, debris.
That's so true. That's so true.
Did you notice his cover? Instead of leaving the scene, he goes back inside to jump with the pets.
Yeah, and grab the hot dog.
Did you believe that? I feel like I was the girl in the coffee shop or the pet store. If I'm looking straight at a guy and all of a sudden he's gone, all this stuff happened, and then he's just like, "Oh, I just jumped over here to play with the dogs and cats."
With no shoes on and hot dogs in his pocket.
And Iris saw his face.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire your ass if you showed up to my interview with hot dogs in your pants for the dogs.
But why does Iris see his face?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because they're gonna date later, obviously, Toby.
Yes.
Later.
Are you frustrated? Is that a frustrated look because of the comment or the fact that it's true? And that's the reason why they did
I'm frustrated by so much of what he did. But one of the things that got people really excited, I remember before it came out, and one of the major differences between the ending of the Whedon and the ending of the Zack is the fact that Lex Luthor knows who Bruce Wayne is, who Batman is, and tells Deathstroke. And that was supposed to be a Deathstroke.
Did we not get that in that last scene, or did you just cut it off before?
They said I'm starting with society versus I know who Bruce Wayne is.
His name is Bruce Wayne. So this guy's gonna kill you. He hasn't.
But how did Deathstroke not already know that? I'm sorry. Like, can we be serious here?
Again, Zack Snyder doesn't know these characters. He's just dude added the Atom.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I like that.
Why is Ray Choi?
Yeah.
Why is
No,
Ray Choi not Ray?
Ryan Choi? Because
Ryan Choi. Sorry,
Yeah.
Ray. Yeah, Ray's the other one. Why is he? Why?
Why not Ray? Yeah, Ray, not Ray Park.
I didn't mind it, but I think the thing that I agree with you, seeing it got me excited as a nerd, the same way seeing Joaquin Torres in Falcon as a nerd. But ultimately watching it, I was just like, but he's useless if he hasn't done the if he's not the actual Adam yet.
He's also hasn't met the original Adam.
Yeah.
Or will he? Is he?
Is there one? What?
Yeah. I mean,
also,
if you want to do diversity and you decide you want to throw in an Asian character, then why did you have the Asian character not be part of the story? Like all those things don't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It didn't. Yeah.
But for me, for this movie, to wrap up my opinion about it, it's simple. I didn't rewatch Justice League because I just remembered being like, I remember how I felt after Justice League, the original. I wasn't going to go through and figure out which scenes were what.
Hell no.
So after watching it all, I'll say this. I don't agree with it being a runtime of 4 hours. I think that if we got the theatrical version, there's a lot of removing the slow motion, the long intros and outros of scenes, and like kind of like, because I feel the nightmare scene was going to be an after credit scene for the next movie. Yeah. So I don't think we would have gotten the 10 or 15 minutes that was. So I could easily see you going down to 3 hours.
Whack.
Yeah, that was pretty silly too.
All of that.
Like, what was it? Victor Stone to Notre Dame with the fucking hump on his back and I was like, what are we doing here?
Joker though.
Yeah, but that's it. Like,
no, but like, what was that scene?
What was the point of that scene? To be quite honest,
why is Deathstroke working with Batman and he has a blonde mohawk?
I'm surprised the next movie, if you were gonna make it to another, you already knew that Deathstroke and Batman were working together, so bad guys and good guys, it's blurred. To have I don't know.
I'll say this to you: the reason that scene existed, in my opinion, is because they wanted to sell more Injustice video games and action figures. That's the only reason. It's toys, because you have no reason to introduce Deathstroke talking to Lex Luthor normal and then to flash forwards in the nightmare scene where he has a mohawk. The dude has 2 versions of him in the span of 10 minutes. That is literally done just for action figure fodder.
And why are you guys on a super secret mission?
Yeah, well,
and arguing in the middle of the road.
Yes,
to the point where the guy who
he's
can
gonna
hear a cricket chirp from another planet,
and you're surprised. He found us. And don't say. You're having a conversation on a highway in the desert, nigga. You don't say.
You got the Joker, and like on top of that, the Joker, who has one of the most distinct laughs in the universe, is just sitting on the top of a car going.
And Batman is the Punisher all of a sudden.
Yeah,
swearing and like pointing a gun, like I'm gonna murk you. Trust me, when this is over, I'm about to kill you. What? What's going on?
Deathstroke just like, are you happy you brought him along? It's just like, bitch. Like, what are these?
What is this?
What happened? Anyways, why is Batman always putting his penis in things that don't belong to him? Number one.
Man.
Don't do that. This is why
penises.
Well, hold on. Are you talking about Lois Lane?
Yes, because that's what they're alluding to. They're alluding
to I think they're alluding to Superman and Lois Lane's son becoming Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I heard. So I looked it up too, and I think that's what Zack Snyder is alluding to.
Let's hope, because if it has something to do with in between Superman being dead for a whole 3 days and Batman being sad and him hooking up with Lois, I'll be mad, because that's stupid and they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do any of this. And this whole epilogue was just like.
So here it is. In Zack Snyder's planned Justice League sequel, Superman and Lois Lane's son would have become the next Batman following Bruce Wayne's death because their son doesn't get any powers.
Oh, okay.
It kind of like skips a generation, whatever.
Well, that's like in the show. Right?
That's like in the show, exactly.
Yeah, Superman and Lois, Jordan doesn't actually have powers. Like, he kind of has powers. They kind of just show up when he gets emotional. He's like a teenage mutant. Like,
his name was going to be Bruce Kent. And they were going to take Bruce Kent to the Batcave on his 20th birthday.
I want to throw up already.
Stop.
As I'm reading
I
this,
want to finish my point before we talked about that throw up.
that's crazy.
This movie, yeah.
All I'll say is this: the
That is
original
the
movie,
worst name blend ever. Bruce Kent.
it's
You know
not
what?
the worst, it's the absolute laziest.
What I'll say at the end of this movie, or at least how I feel about it, if Whedon's version didn't come out first, would we really like this one that much?
No.
I think this. Well, that's what I was gonna say. I would think that this naturally is better than the Whedon one,
Of course,
But it's still
because
not good.
it's still not
I'm
great.
not. Well, let me finish. I'm still saying it's better. I don't think we would have shat on it as much, but it did not change it to the best superhero movie at all.
But
even
the
close.
funny part is we would have
I
because
would
there
have
would be
100%
2
shot
hours.
on it.
There'd be
No,
2
but
hours of
I'm assuming
content.
that the first one he would have cut it down to be a theatrical release. Like,
Exactly.
And I would have still
that.
shat on a lot of the things that I
That's what
shat
I'm
on
saying,
today.
Dave. Imagine, Dave. Check this out. How much character development would he have to cut for second and third tier characters if it was a 2-hour movie? You don't get Cyborg. You don't get Cyborg and his dad. You don't get Barry with Iris. You don't get any of Volko still. All that stuff gets cut. You might get one scene with Volko. You get less Amber. You cut some fight scenes down here. You change.
Yeah, it's why we didn't need a Justice League movie to begin with. You should have
But at
just
the
done
same
all these solo movies and joined them in natural,
at the same
organic
time,
ways.
One thing that was beneficial in this one, because it was one of my biggest complaints in the first one.
Yeah.
The first one did not have an identification. It didn't have a characteristic. You didn't know if they were happy or sad, light or dark. This one had like a structure to it, at least. Like you knew the type of film you were getting into. Like,
Bro,
example,
if
you
you
were
give me
Marvel,
4
you were-
hours as an amateur, I could give you a movie with structure. As
That's
well.
what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
I think no, but even if you take out all the scenes you guys were talking about before, and
Yeah.
you just release it in the order that you released the information in, it was
Yeah.
much better than the first one. The first one has a bunch of useless.
But that's why you can't compare it to the
That's it.
first. That's what he was
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Because the first one is just a Frankenstein of things that came together at the last second that they, for some reason, thought we would eat up.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't get to. If he wanted to give me a funny Justice League and he had the same amount of time, I'd give it the same shot as I'm giving this. I'd compare them, but I can't because they're completely different movies.
And
Like the scenes, everything's different.
This guy actually put a Superman and Flash race in a movie.
Yeah, that's my thing. At the end of the day, everyone saying this is the movie we deserved. I keep wanting to ask people, and I keep writing. In what world would you get a 4-hour superhero movie? You would have never. The closest you got is how long was Endgame? 3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours and 3 minutes. 3:02 actually.
The closest you get is he still cuts down an hour. So again, if he cuts down an hour, the first characters that are getting cut down are Cyborg and the Flash.
But the beauty about Endgame is that no one needed to get cut down because there's precedence. You don't need to have their backstory in the movie where you're also facing a villain whose backstory come on. It's a movie about backstories.
Yeah.
They put so much in this movie. And oh my god.
By the way, we got a comment here. We got a comment here from someone. I just like to point out the film is not actually. It's not 4:3 ratio per se. It's actually filmed in IMAX, which is the 4:3,
which is like a taller frame.
So I know some people are just like, oh, he filmed it in 4:3. I mean, technically, yes, it is in 4:3, but in the sense that it was made specifically to be screened in IMAX, which is another thing. I'd like. It's another thing that really bothered me about the movie. You first of all filmed this movie, had all these pieces put together, and you did it in IMAX. Okay, so you did it you filmed it and put it out in the 4:3 ratio on HBO Max and Crave in Canada for all of us to view for the down the road, couple hundreds of people that are going to watch it in IMAX when theaters open back up and they eventually screen it that way. Like, how many theaters do you think are going to run a 4-hour version of your movie? I'm not going to a 4-hour version of your movie in IMAX. I don't want to sit in a theater for 4 hours to watch this. I didn't watch it in one sitting here. I don't think I know anyone who watched it in a full straight 4-hour sitting. Everyone I know said they at one point they took a mini break.
Yeah. That last 45, I took.
I'm sorry, this movie was a mess, man. There was just too much. There's just too much to unravel, and none of it made. A lot of it didn't make sense, and a lot of it was fan service, and doesn't. It was good. You guys got what you wanted. We talked about it. We still don't like it. Go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Don't
just leave them alone now. Like I don't want to hear Justice League for a long time.
For a long time.
I mean, final thoughts. But I don't release the Snyder cut. That's
sorry, Dave.
I also think the Justice League is hampered by their actual origin story, though.
Why?
I feel like unless they do it like Marvel styles, where each main character that has enough of a background, you make a movie before and you lead to it. If they were, let's say they were to reboot it, let's say it's 10, 20 years from now, where they want to reboot it and they want to do Justice League, you have 6 characters that are all, or 6 to 7, depending on, I mean, technically it should be 7. Yeah. 7 characters that should be on the screen. You know exactly what they're doing to fight a foe that you're supposed to be kind of being introduced to, which is like that foe, like.
Yeah. You're not
Darkseid's intro.
You're not sold on Darkseid because Thanos got a full-on backstory.
Yeah.
Bro.
Thanos got 10 years.
Because they made all those movies before, so they didn't have to waste, like you were saying before, they didn't have to waste time saying, "Oh well, Iron Man does this and Captain America does this." And this is their. You just said, "Okay, we're starting the new movie. This is the villain's intro." You're not, and because of that, because the actual origin story of Justice League. Unless you do it Marvel's way, you can't just have a random standalone movie to introduce characters.
Dude, this movie started with me seeing the villain getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Almost getting his head chopped off like Thor, except they didn't go for the head. But he could have been dead too.
But that's Darkseid's also too world ending, if you know what I mean. Like Darkseid's like the apocalypse equivalent. Or like Galactus. Like he's too world ending. He is literally lives on a place called Apocalypse.
Yeah,
he will kill you. Like they should have went to like a medium. They should have went like not Bizarro, but a Brainiac. They could have done like something. Yeah,
you're right. They could have done
deathly.
They could have done meteor stuff. Dude, before you get to the damn. Yeah,
you could have done.
Mike's comment is exactly my point. By the way,
easily they easily could have done. Starro.
Yeah, but here, Dave, I'll say to you and Mike. We don't know. We don't care about that version. It's not what Marvel did because Marvel planned it better.
But hold on. I will answer the question. Would Marvel have still been better? No.
Well, okay, hold on. Imagine if they'd released Infinity War and Endgame as one 4-hour movie without all the backstory origin movies done beforehand. Would Marvel have still been better?
No.
You would have gone this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are we all agreeing here?
Yeah, we're completely agreeing. My comment is for the future. I'm worried for if they ever try and redo it in the future. If they decide not to do it the right way, I mean, it's going to
they should just not do. They should just not do Justice League until the league is ready to do it justice.
Yes.
Period.
These movies don't
do it Justice League until the league's ready to do it justice.
Those characters don't really translate well on the big screen as the Avengers, and that's because they actually took the time to take and break them down, and these characters don't translate that.
3 of the characters in the Justice League are gods.
Yes.
Yeah. Ultimately, what you should do. Yeah. Ultimately, what you should do is you do TV series and then do a movie. You have HBO Max. Do a Superman on HBO Max. Do a Batman on HBO Max. Do a Wonder Woman on HBO Max, build up the team, have other characters appear, and then put out the movie. Because you have the network, you have your streaming, you could have done it. You didn't have to do it this way.
Dude.
It's all too bad. We remembered it. Now they got to wait till 2040. Too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to pay anymore. I'm not going to pay anymore until I start seing them not being so damn money hungry and cutting corners.
Yeah.
Cutting corners, man.
Yeah. We got to get to Geek News and Rumors. We knew there was a good chance that we weren't going to get to the other stuff because we knew this was going to take us throughout the whole show.
A lot. But just quick recommendations. I would recommend watching Superman and Lois. I actually kind of like it so far. It's completely off CW world. And then the one on Netflix is good too.
I'm going to review the one next week because I actually have a lot of comments. But yeah, Geek News and Rumors. you crazy kids, we got some wild stuff. Keanu Reeves Berserker film and anime series announced for Netflix, who I just canceled. So that's for you guys.
Keanu is obviously, he looks like the character in Berserker.
Yeah, the character 100% based on like his
on him. Yeah. It's whatever. He's also been a fan since The Matrix, right, of anime and stuff. So
so I'm looking forward to watching this when I get Netflix for 1 month at the end of the year and start binging through stuff. But until then. One of the other things that I thought was interesting, Transformers Beast Wars live action rumors are circulating.
No, they're not. Really?
They are circulating on Deadline.
No.
Yeah.
No, I understand that there's the rumors. I'm saying please no.
Yeah, I agree. I saw I don't know if it's real, but I saw mock-ups of what the character design looked like, and the Optimus Prime, like the ape, or what was his name?
Optimus Primal.
It was Optimus Primal.
Optimus Primal, the ape looks like
Cheetor.
Yes, it looks like a Mercedes. Like he's all glossy and stuff, and it looks like a car that's standing like an ape. I don't know. It just looked weird. It wasn't a good look. And Beast Wars is just one of those like Transformers that I don't see translating to live action really well.
Technically, it's all in the past where there's no other humans for them to interact with. I don't see how.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Yeah, like
time travel.
Oh God.
But they don't need to be humans then.
No, that's it. There wouldn't be humans in this one. It would just be the Transformers. And I get that. And as much as that would be cool where the focus is only on the Transformers, the Autobots and Decepticons working in the human world was always interesting. The Beast Wars series worked as a 30-minute cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if you could do a live action 2-hour movie about the Beast. I don't see it. I could be wrong. If it comes out and it's good, that'd be interesting. But
you're right. I don't necessarily see it. Like Planet of the Apes is good indication that we might be advanced enough to see something like that work. But I don't know if they can or they're ready to make it work without us regretting,
Also, what
would be the storyline for a movie?
I don't know.
Think about it.
The same as usual, the Allspark.
Probably.
But I'm saying, like, if you think about the actual real original material, like there's not one point in time that you could just make a movie out of this chunk.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's why we said we don't see it. And also the character design, if the character design is robotic apes as opposed to the cartoon, which was an ape that transformed, and you couldn't, like, the whole idea is like he looked like an ape. He didn't look like a robot ape. Like that to me, these are all things that seem really weird. So I guess we'll see. Issa Rae inks 8-figure deal with television, 8-figure film and television deal with Warner Media.
But how many deals does she have? I feel like every time I hear about her, she's got any new dealers. Am I just conflating people now?
It's true. I did hear something else earlier, and then now she has this one. I think the only reason I put this one is because this was the big one. Like 8 figures is a pretty big glow up for her. I mean, she's super talented, and the one of the things that I'm finding interesting about what's going on is all the studios are trying to lock down all these like producers and stuff. Ava DuVernay over, and Shonda Rhimes is over here, and Childish Gambino's over there. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is doing her thing. Issa Rae is doing her thing. It's and that's everyone's trying to lock people down. Kenya Barris, But then you have, at the end of the day, those deals seem cool. But I got to say, as much as I find him to be a little weird, Tyler Perry not signing any deals with anybody, but owning the biggest studio in Atlanta and everyone having to go through him. Hell, even the fucking Royals have to go through him if they want to get shit done in Atlanta. That's big man moves. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, no, he started the real MCU. Medea Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
No.
100%. He started the whole movement in Atlanta. He did, which is why he has the key to the damn city now.
God damn. It's crazy when you think about it. The man has a recreation of the White House in Atlanta that they use for almost every show that's set in the White House now. Like, think about that. Like that, this man runs the game. When you need a set, it's his set people are using now. That's why everything's filming in Atlanta. That's big. So I'm happy for all these deals. I'm happy that everyone's getting their piece of the pie. I look forward to the content they're going to produce. Issa Rae has been amazing. I was just listening to a podcast where they were talking about YouTube, and they talked about how she started out on YouTube, and now look at her. She has 8-figure deals. Like, those are big moves. I'm just hoping that those big moves can lead to even bigger moves a la Tyler Perry, because I know I make fun of him or made fun of him in the past, but end of the day, this motherfucker could buy us and everybody around us and still have enough money to go get some chicken and waffles at Roscoe. So whatever he's doing, he's doing well. The last but not least, as we mentioned before, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow, July 9th now, not in May. July 9th pushes Shang-Chi back also, which is the other thing that people are like, oh, damn. But the big thing, the thing we've been saying for almost a full year, we said do it earlier, getting an official release on Disney Plus. Same day, a la HBO Max. Yeah. It is what it is. It is.
They should have done this. They should have done this. I don't know what they were waiting for, because we all were seeing the same thing pandemic wise and realized that theaters may never be the same for at least a couple years.
I said the same as you, but then a buddy of mine pointed out that the Americans are crazy because they out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
LA and New York is opening back. Theaters are opening back in lots of cities. You have Texas. They're lifting their mask requirements. Like, Americans, like, they're out. They're out in theaters. They're out at restaurants. Like, so, that's the thing that kind of bothers me, because the domestic, quote unquote, in the States is considered more important than the international for movies. And I always found that weird. I think I get that it's important for a movie to do well domestically, but if you can break into international markets,
that's where the real money's at.
That to me,
yeah,
I agree.
I would think so too.
I think international can be more beneficial to you, because if you make 100 million and 75 million of it was done international and 25, it's like, isn't that exactly? It's just that I think they need America for some reason to be like the lightning rod for like the popularity and stuff.
Yeah, the popularity of the content in order for everyone else to follow. They kind of want to keep that.
Yeah.
There needs to be a cool kid.
My excitement for Black Widow is completely gone.
Completely
gone.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
We said it.
I'm more over it than I was with New Mutants almost.
Oh my God.
That's a little much.
I still haven't seen.
That's a good.
It's gonna be good still.
Yeah, honestly, you don't need to watch it. It was bad.
But you know what though? I'll say this. I think if they're not doing it, but had they timed it to hit at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier and really hype up the whole oh shit, and then we get to like Natasha's story, and then we got Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because right now they're going to release. I mean, one of the reasons that I understand they have to release it before Hawkeye comes out later this year is because Yelena is in Hawkeye. That's been announced officially.
Right.
So her story can't continue until you get Black Widow out of the way, because that's her introduction. So I don't know how soon after Hawkeye is going to drop, but I would say if you're going to drop Black Widow July, Hawkeye needs to release if it's July 9th, by the end of July, Hawkeye should be out, which I don't think is what they're doing. And I would do that, because to me that makes sense, because then it's just like, oh shit, I'm hyped because I want to see this so I can watch that. I have to see this.
Was WandaVision the only 9-episode show and everything else is 6?
And She-Hulk will be 9, I think.
9, okay.
Yeah, or if not 9, at least it's going to be sitcom structure still, like the half-hour type.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, the Falcon and Winter Soldier looks like a movie they couldn't really put in theaters, but they could cut into 6 parts and be like, here's a 6-part miniseries.
Yeah.
Whereas like the others feel like they need to be shows to develop characters almost, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, I
All
hope
right.
I'm gonna watch Black Widow because I still want to see how I like Taskmaster, and I think I hope they don't kill him in the movie.
Well, we'll see.
But yeah,
I will say this though, I'm sad that it's that she's gonna get bootlegged the fuck out of it. Like that movie comes out on Disney Plus and it's gonna be on it's gonna get bootlegged like crazy.
But it is what I said last year when I said they should have put it on. They are gonna charge you a fee to watch it. It's a rental fee of like $30. More than I thought they would charge, but
well, it's what they did for Mulan. They set the bar with Mulan, right? So they're gonna stick to what they did before. But that's it, guys. That's the whole show. Anything you guys want to tell people? I got a few things to add at the end, but if there's anything you guys want to mention, let us know.
Snyder cut. The hype is not real. You can watch it if you want, but watch it if you want, but take breaks. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much. That ending, really I couldn't believe it. I had flashbacks like Devin said to Lord of the Rings. I'm like, this is incredible. It doesn't end.
It really doesn't end. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
I was so confused too because I was just like, wait, why are we in the what is? And then when I thought that was over, then we panned to Joker sitting on a car, and I was like, this is still going. This is still going. Anyways, I won't anymore.
That's it. That's all.
That's it, guys. That's the whole show. We want to remind you guys, first off, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for everyone in the chat. We want to shout outs to Devin. We want to shout outs to Mike, Jay Grizz, Omar, Voltec Cell, Prestu Desu. There's like a whole bunch of people here. Some of y'all I've never seen before. Lee J.
Same.
There's like a whole bunch of you guys.
Some of y'all I've never seen before, like Lee J.
But I'm just like I'm seeing names that I've never seen before in the comments. So we appreciate you guys watching the show, being a part of the experience. You know, it's always fun having you guys jump in. If you guys are listening to the podcast, don't forget we always do the show live on Wednesdays, youtube.com/freeXagentsmedia, and it's 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, and you guys can watch us live on YouTube every Wednesday. And we just want to remind you guys once again, the Best of Montreal is open. You guys have to fill out 25. A minimum of 25 categories have to be filled in for it to count. One entry per IP address per person. You know, if you guys start putting in non-locals for stuff, they're not going to count your votes. So, you know, it's 25 minimum. Category 23 this year, Best Podcast. Geektastic Cypher is asking you guys to support us and to vote for us in Best Podcast. We're also going to have a list of things and different spots for you guys to support. You know, like, Action Figgy Skitty for Best IG. He got into the top 10 last year. You know, Best Radio Show. We have The Morning Detour, a part of Free Agents Media. We have a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of people that we're going to shout out in the next little while to get and ask you guys to support them along with us. So we want to thank you guys for tuning into the show. We'll be back next week with another edition. Once again, this was episode 241. We're going the road to 250. We got 8 episodes at the 250 episodes of Geektastic Cypher. That's a pretty big number. Really excited to get to that. We might have to do something. We'll figure it out as we get closer. Guys, that's the whole show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. You guys are family. That's it. That's all. We're out. Peace, y'all.
Later, guys.